and they should be fulfilled. The next question, we have a phone-in question which came, which said, can I travel to Pakistan for my father's business? All right. My brother died in a car accident, and my father, my father is not well, and is not able to travel to Pakistan for business. I have blood relatives there, uncles, etc. Well, yes, it is permissible for you to go from here, Dubai, to Pakistan. You have your uncles there, they can meet you at the airport. They are your mahrams. You know, as long as the journey which is not permissible for a woman, you know, without a mahram, is a journey which exceeds a day and a night. The flight to Karachi is only a couple of hours, or a few hours. So if her father takes her to the airport and then her uncles, etc., meet her there in Karachi, this would be permissible. Her father being unable to travel due to illness, etc. The second part of the question, my father advised that we should not take blood money for my brother who died in the car accident, since he's shaheed. And if we take it, it will take away the reward. Well, this issue, the issue that if a person dies in a car accident, that they're shaheed, this is questionable. There is a statement that if a person, is struck by a horse, a horse hits them, whatever, there are references to them dying in a state of shahada, a horse kicks them and kills them in that state. We know that it happened in the time of Prophet ﷺ that somebody was killed, in that way, and the Prophet ﷺ had them buried in their ihram. They were involved in Hajj. But the point is that blood money, or diya, where a person is killed accidentally, that the one who has killed him, is to pay a certain amount of money, which has been, calculated from the time of the Prophet, may God's peace be upon him, recalculated in our times. This money, this has been mentioned in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ implemented it, and it is permissible for us to take it, and to do so does not take away from any reward which may go to that person who dies, in circumstances where they may be classified as being martyrs due to it, or they were patient with it, and they received their reward from Allah due to the harm that came to them. To take the blood money is to help the family, the family that has suffered the loss, that financial loss which will come out of it also. This is to help them in their future, and it in no way harms or takes away from the reward that the brother would have gotten, from being patient in times of trial. The next question is from Yasmin Najmuddin in Dubai. She writes, my son is interested in sketching and painting. Islamically, what are the things he should avoid drawing? I was told that we should not draw the eyes or face. Please elaborate. Jazakallah. Children, art for children, that is those under puberty, has been permitted in Islam. There's a general prohibition on image making, carvings, drawings, etc. Pictures that we create with our hands. Prophet ﷺ said, those who will receive the most severe punishment on the Day of Judgment are those who make these images. So it is something to avoid. It is something which has to do with idolatry, in the sense that much of idolatry is based on this. The idols that people worship that are carved in the shape of human beings, animals, etc., etc., it's all being produced by such people. Historically, this has been the case. Images have been a source of worshipping others besides God. And as such, Islam is very strict against images of living beings, and specifically human beings, animals, fishes, birds, etc. But when it comes to children, an exception has been made. The Prophet, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, had in his home toys which Aisha played with when she was very young. She had a toy horse with wings on it, etc. And he approved it. He approved of it. He allowed it. And on the basis of that, scholars have held, from most ancient of times till now, that images for children are permissible. Now, for children making images themselves, because if the images are permissible for them, the making of images for them must also be permissible. So for children also to be involved in image making, as long as they're below the age of puberty, it is permissible. But I would say that in general, they should still be encouraged, unless they're doing something which is specifically connected to education or something like this. I would say we try to encourage them to do things of nature, of the mountains, of the sea, without being involved in actual images of living beings. Because children, if they get in the habit of doing it as youth, once they grow up, when they reach puberty and beyond, they may have difficulty giving it up, So I would say, it's something probably better to avoid, though it is not prohibited for very small children. And we may provide for them, but direct them into areas which are not involving images of human beings, animals, etc. There is a further question from Sister Yasmin. She asked about land or properties in different countries which we have bought for investment. How do we calculate zakah? Now, the properties which are bought for investment purposes, they are for sale, purchase and sale, we calculate the zakah from the profits that we get of the sales. Once they have been sold and a profit is gained from it, then because they're now means of sale, they're involved products which we're involved in, and that's how if we had a business and we sold watches or whatever, we'd pay the zakah on the profits that we got from those goods. No, otherwise, if there are means of storing our money, we're not buying and selling it, but we just put our money into these properties. But we know they're not for our personal use in the sense that we have to live in a house or whatever. This is just a means of our storing our monies. Then, on the value of these properties, we would pay the zakah, on the value of the properties. The money we've spent on it, this money, this has a particular value, and it will increase yearly, as properties usually increase in value. Then we add it up along with the other monies that we have, and we calculate 2.5%, from its overall value. And with that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you for being with us on this segment of our program. We have tried to clarify some issues concerning illegitimate children and conditions in marriage, as well as drawing. And we hope that the answers which we've given have been enlightening to you. We hope that you would write in your questions, as we have the door open to you at any time. You may write in, or you may even call in to the Discover Islam Islamic Information Center in Dubai, 396-2190. Or you may write in to me here, Dr. Bilal Phillips, at Sharjah Television. The program is In the Light of Islam. You may write in P.O. Box 111 Sharjah, and we'll be only too glad to answer any of your questions. With that, dear viewers, we'd like to thank you for being with us and hope that you continue to follow our program in the coming episodes. And we now bid you farewell with the Islamic farewell greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.